Alright guys, we are back for some more Fae goodness, and we've got a trailer coming up right here. So, this one should be the Fallen Heroes banner, and there's a lot of predictions going out there. Some people are predicting Fallen Fafnir, because he got skipped on the Mythic banner. I'm predicting Fallen Reese, actually, from the Cypher art, because they had him on the player survey. Alright, we're starting things off with Fallen Alear. Looks like she doesn't have a voice actress yet, so they have to actually, like, type out what her voice lines are going to be. Okay, so Alear is going to be a colorless, or a green breath armor-type unit. Interesting to see an armor-type Alear, right? Because so far she's only been melee, or infantry types. So, Fellchild arts, 11 might, 1 range, -1 special trigger, brave attacking, even on the enemy phase, and adaptive damage against ranged opponents. If the foe initiates combat, or if unit's HP is over 25% at the start of combat, inflicts a penalty on the enemy's attack, defense, and res equal to the number of distinct game titles among allies in 3 spaces of unit times 3 plus 9, with a max of 15. And then if unit triggers save, then value is treated as 15 automatically. Reduce the percentage of foes' non-special DR by half, excluding on AoEs. And then unit deals plus X damage, where X is 20% of unit's res, excluding on AoEs. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by X, and then also reduce damage from foes' special by X. So we got percentage-based true damage, DR, and special DR there. Alright, seems like a solid weapon. The brave attacking is pretty nice. It's really good for these armor save units to be brave attackers, because that's one of the better ways for them to actually be able to player phase or enemy phase and defeat the units that are attacking into them. Alright, Fell Blast, 3-hit special, boosts damage by 50% of units' res when special triggers. At start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants Fell Spirit to unit and allies in 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. And if the foe initiates combat, or if units or foes special is ready, or if units or foes special triggered before or during this combat, reduce damage from foe's next attack by 40% once per combat. And then unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. So built-in distant counter right onto the special. We got non-pierceable DR there, 40%. We get a status effect. And then we're getting Iceberg, essentially. So Fell Spirit inflicts all stats -4 on the foe and neutralize effects that prevent units' counterattacks during combat. Oh, wow. Null C on an armor is very good. And then also any reduced damage by X% effect that can be triggered only once per combat by units equipped special skill can be triggered twice per combat. So she's got built-in twin near save and twin far save, basically. Excluded boosted special effects from engaging, and only the highest value is applied, doesn't stack. And then also when unit or foe is engaged, inflicts an additional all stats -2 on the foe during combat for 1 turn. Interesting. So it's basically all stats... That's a really nice status support to be giving to allies. It's basically all stats -6 on the enemies. And the Null C is part of the status effect there. I didn't even notice that. Actually, that's the tits right there. That's really good. So we have Null C status effect support there, basically. That's very good. Wow, she's very good, apparently. Alright, then we have Diluvial Boost. Is that how you say that? Okay, HP up 5, and then if the foe initiates combat or unit's HP is over 50% at the start of combat, grants attack, defense, and res up 9 to unit during combat, and recovers 7 HP after combat. This should be armor locked, just like the one that the Baby Corrin duo had. Scowling Fighter. Okay, we got a new B skill here. This one looks like a split off of Special Fighter, actually. Okay, if foe initiates combat, or if unit's HP is over 25% at the start of combat, inflicts attack and res -4 on the foe, deals damage equal to 20% of unit's res, excluding on AoEs, and reduce damage from foes' attacks by 20% of unit's res, excluding on AoEs. Grant special cooldown charge +1 per attack, and also if the foe's attack can trigger foe's special, and unit has 5 more res than the foe, inflicts Scowl on the foe before their first attack. Okay, that's obviously a very good B skill. So yeah, I think this is Special Fighter as the prerequisite, and then it's only for dragon types, probably, because it has the Scowl icon there. All right, then higher ground once again, pretty good skill. You know what we need right about now? We need far save with Kanto control built in. So they gave us Warp Bubble with save. How about Kanto control with save? That would go a long way. Because right now, running a specific infantry unit just to get Kanto control is... like, not really any of the infantry units want to be running it right now. So they would definitely help out by giving that to armored units. Okay, it's another cop-out banner where we're getting double of the same character. So now we have Fallen Male Lear here. I would have preferred, if they were going to do that, at least make one of them be the Tempest Trial reward or the Grand Hero Battle instead of having both of them on the banner. I remember when they did the Fallen Morgans, they had both of them on the same banner. It felt like a cop-out because they're basically the same person, right? We don't need the same person twice. So he's a sword infantry type. His artwork looks a little bit better than the female one. I think the female one had good art too, though. It's not like I'm trying to talk bad about it. Fell Child's Blade, 16 might, 1 range, -1 special trigger. For foes in 3 rows or 3 columns center on unit, inflicts all stats -5 and nullify the foe's bonuses during combat. If the foe initiates combat or if unit's HP is over 25% at the start of combat, then inflicts a penalty on foes, all stats equal to the number of distinct game titles among allies in 3 spaces a unit times 3 plus 4 with a max of 10. Reduce percentage of foes' non-special DR by half, and then also unit deals plus X damage. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by X, and reduce damage from foes' special by X. Basically the exact same thing as the female one. So his percentage is based on speed as opposed to res. And then he also recovers 7 HP after combat. Once again, pretty good weapon. I like the debuff there. The, like, what would we call this? The crux style of debuff there. Where it's just like all stats -5 and bonus neutralization to enemies in 3 rows and 3 columns. Alright, then he's got Gust there. Okay. Bond Breaker, A-slot passive, unique. Unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. At the start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit's HP is over 25%, then grants Fell Spirit to unit and allies in 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. Is that the same one the female one had? Fell Spirit? Let me just quickly double check that. That's pretty cool if they gave both of them the exact same support status on the same banner. Yeah, it is the same one. So she's got Fell Spirit on her special. He's got it on his A skill. It seems like a really strong support, man. We're talking about giving, like, a null C right out of that, and then all stats -6 potentially to the foes if you've got a ring equipped. All right, and then... yeah, so he gives Fell Spirit to unit and allies in 2 spaces for 1 turn, and then inflicts attack and speed -7 and Schism on the closest foes, and any foes in 2 spaces of them for their next action. Alright, also, if the foe initiates combat, or if unit's HP is over 25% at the start of combat, grants all stats of 9 to unit. Reduce damage from foes' first attack by 7 during combat, including their brave attack, and then he's got Miracle, pretty much. Yeah, if unit's HP is over 1 and foe would reduce HP to 0. Survive with 1 HP once per combat. Doesn't stack with non-special effects that give Miracle. Alright, basically similar to the other Alear, the legendary one that had Miracle built in. Alright, then we have Speed and Defense Spiked Wall. And then we have Odd Speed Wave 4. Yeah, so both of these Alears seem like pretty good support units. I think the female one is probably a little better, though, because being an armored unit with support like that is just crazy. All these armor support units, because they're filling so many different roles. They're being your save unit, and then they're also giving crazy support, like, for example, Hector and Rhea and Needhogger. Oh, what is this, Lena? Reese, if we're getting Lena... Fallen Reese better be the goddamn Grand Hero Battle unit. I'm telling you right now. Why is she barefoot, by the way? Okay, so Lena is a staff infantry type. She's probably the demote as well, because she's in slot 3 here. Okay, no, yeah, no, this ain't no demote. Look at this. Martyr's Staff, 14 might, 2 range, calculates damage from staff like other weapons, -1 special trigger. At start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack and res up 6 and bonus doubler and neutralize penalties on unit during combat to unit and allies in 3 spaces for 1 turn. If unit initiates combat or is in 3 spaces of an ally, inflicts a penalty on foes attack and res equal to 20% of unit's res at the start of combat plus 6. Unit deals plus X times 5 damage, where X is the total number of bonuses active on unit and penalties active on foe, excluding stat bonuses and penalties with a max of 5. And then excluding on AoEs. And if damage calculated from staff like other weapons effect is neutralized, then damage from staff is calculated after combat damage. Alright, and then unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack during combat, grants attack and res up 5 to allies in 3 spaces during combat, and then grants Miracle. Yeah, if unit's HP is over 1 and foe would reduce unit's HP to 0 during combat, unit survives with 1 HP and after combat recovers 99 HP to unit. To allies in 3 spaces of unit. What the hell? Start of... Wait, what? Hold on. Effect only triggers for player's team once per map and does not stack with non-special effects that would allow units to survive with 1 HP. And then when any other such effect triggers on an ally granted this effect will trigger too. Oh, well. I hope you guys have your fatal smoke ready. Yeah, this is basically Fallen Maria times 10. So not only does she do that, she's giving it to allies in 3 spaces, right? So, like... Is this a start a turn bonus or is this a drive effect? Let's see here. To allies in 3 spaces of unit... Okay, it's a drive effect. It's not like a start a turn bonus. Fallen Maria was 2 spaces though, right? So this is 3 spaces. That's a little bit better. Alright, then she's got Magic Shield. Which got put into retirement after we got Ice Lock. Holy Pressure, Attack Res Tidings, Resonance 4, and then Pulse Up Ploy. Alright, nothing really too eventful there, but I guess we got another... one of those staff tiding skills there. Alright, come on. We got to see Fallen Reese on this banner, man. There's a reason why they had Reese on that survey. I'm telling you. And there's a reason why they had him be like the spokesperson for that new mode. Okay, Fallen Maria in combat. She's got Lena support, though, so doesn't really matter. Yeah, there they showed it off in 3 spaces. All right, so Rearmed Hero joins the battle. Who we got here? Wait, is that Dedue or is that Reese? Because the Fallen Reese... Oh, it's Dedue. Oh, man. No, the Fallen Reese looked kind of like this. If you guys know which one I'm talking about, the one from Cypher. He's like a berserker with an axe. So for a second, I almost thought it was Reese, but Reese is bald, though. That's the one difference. So he's a beast armor type. Interesting. We're getting a lot of Dedue love here. So, wait a second. He's another arcane rearmed hero. So this is the first arcane weapon we've gotten for beast type since, what's her face? Baby Freya? Aether, I think her name was. So 14 might, -1 special trigger. If the foe initiates combat or if unit's HP is over 25% at the start of combat, grants a bonus to all stats equal to 25% of foe's attack at the start of combat -4 with a max of 14 and a min of 5. Neutralize penalties on unit. Deals damage equal to 15% of unit's attack, including on AoEs. Reduces damage from foe's attacks by 15% of attack, including on AoEs. And then grants special cooldown count -1 to unit before first attack. Also, at the start of turn, if unit's adjacent to only beasts or dragons, then you transform. You get attack up 2, and then also distant counter. Okay, Sturdy Beast. Nice to have on a arcane hero. Attack and defense Fortune. Okay, we're getting another one of those Fortune skills, which is good. Oh, shit. Assault Fighter? Finally, we're getting Bold Fighter 4. Oh, boy. Yeah, but I mean, this is a classic one, because Bold Fighter was the strongest passive in the game for quite a good time. If unit initiates combat or is in 3 spaces of an ally, inflicts attack and defense -4 on the foe. Deals damage equal to 20% of unit's defense. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 20% in defense. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up, and reduce percentage of foes' non-special DR by half. All right, that's a little anticlimactic there. I mean, I was looking at this like, this is going to be crazy whenever they do Bullfighter 4, and it's, I don't know, it's okay. Certainly the one that Alir had was crazy, though, the Special Fighter 4. And then his unique C skill for the True King, if foe's range is 2, initiates combat against, or if foe with a range of 2 initiates combat against an ally in 2 spaces, then you trigger save. If foe initiates combat against target ally in 4 spaces unit, trigger save on you. Wait, what? If the foe initiates combat against target ally within 4 spaces of unit, triggers save on unit. So, if support partner is on the player team, target ally is any support partner. Otherwise, target ally is the ally with the highest attack. Wow, 4 spaces for save. That's pretty interesting, actually. Yeah, you could do shenanigans with that. For depending on how you've got your units placed in Aether Raids or in SD, even if you want to like push a little bit more forward with your offensive units and you still want them to be protected by save, this is pretty good. All right, then unit can move to a space in 2 spaces of target ally, so he can warp to his support partner as well. And then if unit is transformed or if the foe initiates combat, grants attack, defense, and res up 5 to unit. Unit deals +7 damage, excluding on AoEs. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 7, and grants special cooldown count -1 to unit before unit's first attack during combat, and any reduced damage by X% effects that can be triggered only once per combat by unit's equipped skill can trigger twice. So he's got built-in also twin save right there. Yeah, seems pretty good. I mean, the weapon is definitely better than Aether's weapon at this point, so that's, I guess that's an upgrade if you're trying to build up these beast types. Why they got him fighting Fomortis, by the way? What did Fomortis ever do? It's also pretty cool to see the, like, 3 houses beasts finally get introduced. I think this is the first one we've had. Alright, so here is Balder. I guess she's losing her power now, if you guys were following the story. And no, we didn't... Hold on, I have to log into the game. I have to know who the GHB is. It has to be Reese. There's no way they're doing Lena on this banner randomly, and they're not going to do another character from Arcania, right? Alright, we are allowed to spark twice on the banner, which is probably a good idea. I think the Alir is definitely... The Armor Alir is definitely a unit worthwhile to pick up if you're interested. Both of them have the same support, so it's not like you're really missing out too much, but I do think the Alir is a little better. And, oh, what? The Grand Hero Battle is going to be Fafnir. Why did they put him on the GHB? Why did they put him on the actual banner? That's disrespectful as hell. What the... come on, man. People were waiting on Fafnir. That's not cool. They could have had one of the Alirs be the GHB, like the male Alir. He could have been the GHB. And they could have just put Fafnir on the banner. Ah, that sucks. R.I.P. Fafnir fans. But at least we finally got him, though. That's a good thing. I wonder how good he's going to be as well. He was a beast dragon, or was he a beast, like, beast type? I don't remember. Because it's been a hot minute since we fought that guy. But he should be a pretty interesting GHB because he's basically guaranteed to have a preference weapon. So, yeah, banner looks pretty good. As usual, I mean, the Fallen Heroes banner is usually pretty good, but a little disappointed in the unit selection here. I cannot believe still that they gave us Lena instead of Fallen Reese, right? Like, Fallen Reese sells himself. I don't understand why... I don't know, man. I'm just rambling now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. And I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.